So I'm Barbara Green, and I'm the president of Think Productive North America. Welcome. Please feel free to comment in the chat, add your own thoughts throughout this. If you have specific questions, though, can you use the Q&A, because then they won't get lost in the chat area, and then I'll be able to see them. I'm really glad that you're able to join this webinar, Gain Control of Your Day. It's part of a wider series that Think Productive is doing across the globe, sharing our fun, engaging, and unique brand of personal productivity. I know some of you on this session are familiar with Think Productive and our workshops, but I wanted to take a moment just to talk quickly about why I wanted to run this particular webinar. I speak with different people and lots of organizations across many industries, and I hear a common thread. They and their teams are stressed, overwhelmed, burnt out. And I wondered if that sounded familiar to you. Does that resonate with you? If you're comfortable, could you share in the chat maybe how you're feeling and why you want to join this webinar? Any thoughts? You don't have to share. Thanks, Emil. Anyone? Oh, Kira, I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. I hear a lot about that, the pandemic. Yep, COVID, budget cuts. Oh, Rhonda, I know that is hard. Layoffs. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of pressure there, Melissa. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking that time to share. It's so important to acknowledge that it's not easy. And as many of you have said, these are not ordinary times. COVID has added an extra layer of doubt, uncertainty, and worry on all aspects of our life. So I felt it important to take a pause, to give people an opportunity to breathe and learn how to be more like our ninja here, Zen Like Calm. Unfortunately, there is no magic bullet, but I can give you tips and strategies to help you be more in control and less stressed. So let's get started. I'm going to kick off something here about time management. At Think Productive, we are firm on the fact that you will not find Zen Like Calm by managing your time better. That's because time is finite. We all have the same number of hours in each day, and we cannot get more. Time will continue ticking by no matter how we spend it. What we really need to manage is our focus and our attention so that we can be heads down, concentrating and getting things done. Having a bubble would certainly help because this is our day-to-day reality. Constant distractions and interruptions. I'm going to do a quick poll here and find out what's distracting you. Okay, hopefully that's just popped up. If you can't see it, please post in the chat and I will put the questions there for you. So we're going to give it a few more seconds to get everybody an opportunity to respond. I'm just taking some notes here, guys. Okay, how are we doing? And it looks like, okay, emails, meetings, yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're gonna end the poll. We got walk-in traffic students. So those are all our others, I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm gonna share the results with you. So, you know, it's funny, I did this session on Tuesday and it's exactly the same split, emails and people. So people who are distracting us in person and people who are distracting us via our emails. Isn't that fantastic? So that's really interesting. Okay. I'm going to close that down. It's useful to know what our big distraction culprits are, but unfortunately, we can't get rid of most of that noise. But over the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to provide you with some insights and perspectives that will help you to create your own bubble, to limit distraction and increase your focus. To start off, I want to address two big myths. And the first one is that we all have an unlimited amount of attention and focus each day. The truth of it is that we can only be really productive. I'm talking about the cooking on gas kind of productive, about 3 hours a day. That's it. Actually, it's actually even a little bit less than 3 hours, but we're going to round up and we're going to say about 1/3 of our working day is we can be our most productive. That's it. And there's a lot of science behind it, but I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the important stuff for us. So the adult brain, which accounts for about 2% of our total body mass, consumes 20% of the body's daily calories. And actually in children, it consumes 50%, and in infants, it's 60%. So we're probably a little bit more efficient with 20%. And half of these calories are used just to keep the lights on, literally. It's our sodium and potassium ions are going across the brain's membranes to maintain an electrical charge. That does not leave a lot of juice in the battery for the big draw from the executive function area of our brain, the frontal lobe, which we need for reasoning, decision-making, planning, adapting to change, all those big thinking activities that we do every day. And the more of these activities that we do, the more energy we use and the more tired our brain gets. Physically, we simply cannot sustain enough calories to be 100% focused all day. And this is important to understand on two fronts. The first is that our attention and focus is limited, and that makes it precious. We need to use it wisely. And second, we also need to recognize that we are human, and distraction is inevitable. So don't beat yourself up if once in a while you find yourself surfing on YouTube and looking at cute kittens. Like our muscles, our brains need a rest. And science does say that switching up between tough, demanding thinking and some lighter activity, including kitten gazing, provides a much needed recharge. Myth 2, and this is a big one, that multitasking is productive. We're going to do another quick poll here. Okay, I want to know what you feel about multitasking. Do you love it, hate it, can't do it? Think it's a necessity? I always get somebody who says they can't do it. That's good. Don't learn. Oh, it's heating up. It's just moving along here. We've got 81% have voted. We'll just give it another couple of seconds. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Share the results. So, wow, close. We've got 46% say they can't do it. And then 38% say it's a necessity. Wow, it's a pretty equal split in the group here. Interesting. Okay, let's be honest. We all multitask to some extent, whether or not we're good at it. COVID was an extreme experiment in it, right? Hands up. Sorry, I can't see you, but hands up if you spent most of the past spring trying to work from home as well as homeschool your child. Maybe some of you were still trying to do that. It makes what this guy's doing look easy. So then why are we so down on multitasking? We're going to do a little exercise now. So grab that pen and paper I had mentioned to you before. I'm going to time you in a moment doing a task. Okay. I'm going to get out my little clock here. So when I tell you to start, I want you to write ninjas do not multitask. And then below it, I want you to write the numbers 1 to 20. Simple. Got any question? Put it in chat. Okay, everybody ready? Now, I want you to let me know in the chat when you're done, okay? Just put in done, okay? And I'm gonna start the timer and now, go. Okay, a couple of people done. 20 seconds, keep going, yeah. Still in the 25, no 30. Okay, so it looks like about between 20, 25 seconds, everybody got it done. Excellent. Reset that because we're going to do it again now. I'm going to do a slight adjustment and we're going to use the same phrase in the same set of numbers, but this time I want you to alternate between a letter and a number. So N1, I2, N3. Okay, so letter, number, letter, number. Everybody ready? Use the chat again to let me know when you're done and go. You do your tasks and I'll have my tea. Kira, turn off your phone. I'm sorry, Kia. Okay. Oh, Melissa. Okay, done. Excellent. So that time, it definitely took closer to, it was over 45, it was actually closer to 50 seconds to do it. So we've doubled the time than we did the first time. Okay, for some it more than doubled, for some it just kind of doubled. But let me know, how'd that feel? Did you make any mistakes? Let's light up the chat. Tell me what you thought. Yeah, it's joining us. More brain power. It was harder, wasn't it? Sorry, now I was sitting here just drinking my tea. I have to say, I have done this before. Yeah, that's a tough one. Thank you for sharing. So not only did it take longer the second time, but it was probably more frustrating. And you certainly needed to concentrate more and ignore those telephone calls. Switching between the letters and numbers took more of that brain power, didn't it? So if we only have 3 hours worth of that high octane attention, multitasking, especially on complex activities, will drain it faster and will also make us stressed and unhappy. And that's not Zen like Calm. So what we recommend is that you monotask. Okay, you do one thing up to the point of a natural conclusion or a break, and then move on to the next. Now, I have no illusions that this exercise is going to stop you from multitasking. It is one of the biggest habits we work on with our clients. But if you just are a bit more aware of the impact it's having on your productivity and those precious 3 hours available for deep thinking, you might do it a little bit less. And just that small change could be a very big win in controlling your day. Excellent. We're going to move on now and talk about the tools you're currently using to manage your work. I'm going to do another quick poll here. So tell me, what do you use to organize and manage your tasks? You a pen and paper person? Are you a hardcore techie? And if it's not on the list, sorry, I just noticed, if you don't have anything that's on that, if you're using something, sorry, that's not on that list, please throw it into the chat. Yeah, Outlook. Okay, calendar or planner, notepad. Thank you, Melissa. I gotta admit, I'm a paper person myself. Oh, Melissa, you're not getting the polls. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me just throw this in here. Okay. So, my productivity planner. Well done, Kira. So, like I said, I'm a paper and pen kind of person. I do love my list. I used to do that until COVID hit. Basics again, very good. I use a software, Insightly, to manage all my client activities, because that's in my role, that's what I do. So that's really key. It puts everything into my calendar. I love it. It's fantastic. But I have to maintain it, and I'm not always good at that. So there's some good things in there. So let's end the poll here, and I'm going to share the results. Very interesting. Pen and paper lists. And I think, somebody in there, Neil said that COVID hit and they've gone back to basics. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's just as simple sometimes just to put things on pen and paper. Post-it notes on my wall. Joe, well done. Well done. Get it out of your brain. Okay. At Think Productive, we're actually tool agnostic, right? The basic fact is that you do need a system, whether it's high tech or old school, in order to stay on top of all those tasks, whether it's professional or personal. Don't be like our friend here, Sticky Note Steve, also known as our productivity ninja, Nick, trying to hold all the information in your head, because that's going to cause stress and worry. You're going to wonder whether or not you've forgotten something, right? So make sure you find a system, even if it's Post-it notes, that you like, and stick with it. Yes, Nick, he's very handsome. This is a great example of a simple system. It's very low tech. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's not even a whiteboard. That's just push pins, paper, and string. I love it. The white cards are activities or tasks, and they're laid out by time frame. It says now, this week, and later. This is perfect, as then we know what we need to do by when. So Joe, this is something that you could do with your Post-it notes. It's all captured so we don't forget anything. Running down the left are the goals, and these can be big or small, work-related or personal. And that's good, Joe. And this is the big deal of this system. The linking of the activities to the goals. Now we can be confident that not only do we know what needs to be done and by when, we also know why it needs our valuable attention. That's critical. I have no doubt you have to-dos, or worse, meetings in your diary that you're not sure why they're there. I mean, no judgment. I am a member of that club. But knowing your goals can help you be ruthless and cull all those activities that's not helping you meet your goals. At the very least, it can help you to prioritize your day better, so you're applying that limited attention and focus on the key must-do activities and not be distracted by the less critical ones. So I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of homework. Sorry, sacrifices need to be made if you want to control your day. Later on, not now, have a look at your calendar and write this down. Is there anything in there that is not directly related to achieving your goals or your team's goals? And if so, I want you to do one of these three things. Opt out, decline. See if you're going to attend only part of the meeting the part that pertains directly to you. Or see if you could delegate. Is there somebody else who's better suited to attend and has it means more to them to go? Okay. So remember, we need to be ruthless with our attention and focus. I'm going to move on to something else that is really a game changer. I know it's controversial, but I'm going to ask that you stop checking your emails first thing in the morning. Instead, before you do any other work, review your daily list. See what you need to do today that will help you achieve your goals. Start your day knowing where your precious attention and focus needs to be applied. Because if you don't, and you just jump into your inbox, your day is going to look like this. Now, we've all been there. As soon as you open your email app and it's right there on your phone, so it's hard to avoid, you're going to see something that's going to grab your attention, big or small. And the next thing you know, you've lost 2 hours and you haven't looked at anything that was actually on your to-do list for today. So I'm asking, be focused. Review your planned activities for the day before you start any work. And do not let your inbox become your to-do list. Sure, there might be a fire in there you have to deal with, and that's fine. Pull it out, rejig your plan accordingly, but stay on track. And while you're looking at your list of actions, I want you to pick 1 or 2 things that if you did them, it'd make a really big impact on meeting those goals and would make you feel like this at the end of your day. Look at that body language. He's the king of the world. And we all want that feeling. It's important to feel that way because feeling successful at the end of our day makes us more committed and energized to tackle the tough stuff the next day. So every morning, when you're reviewing your day's activities, build in opportunities for success so you can feel like this at the end of your day. Believe me, it is doable. You can 100% end your day like this, but you need to plan for it. You will get more done and you will feel so much better about yourself for doing it. This guy's going for a well-earned beer. One way to ensure that you feel great at the end of your day is to tackle those big, ugly, foreboding tasks that we just keep putting off. Brian Tracy calls these our frog tasks. And it's after an adage from Mark Twain. Twain suggested that if it's your job to eat a frog, it's the best thing to do it first thing in the morning. And then everything that follows is easy by comparison. So do some frog hunting. Find those activities that you've been avoiding and that are likely starting to cause you stress and worry. You may want to consider frog hunting with someone else, maybe a colleague, maybe your team. By sharing our frogs with others, we're building in accountability and commitment to ensure our frogs are dealt with and not ignored. So we're going to take a minute here and let's hunt some frogs together. You don't have to share them. You can if you'd like, but I'm not, you don't have to. But I want to give you some free time to capture some frogs right now. Jot them down, get them out of your brain and onto some paper so you can really see them. Okay, so I'll stop talking for about a minute and you find some frogs. I got one myself I want to jot down. So while you're writing, I put down because it's something that's just bugging me. And I know the American Thanksgiving's coming up and so it's a timer on my brain. I have a lot of relatives in the States who are asking me for my daughter's Christmas list. And I need to think about it. And I keep putting it off and putting it off. So that's what I'm going to do after this session. I'm going to have a little bit of lunch and then I'm going to time box some time for myself to figure out what kind of things, because she always says books, games. She doesn't narrow it down and I need to give my family actual things. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it right after lunch. So she's not home and I can actually get it done. So that's my commitment right now to you guys. I am going to do that. I promise. Does anybody have any of their frogs that they want to share before we move on? Okay, but promise you're going to do those frogs. Tomorrow, I want you to eat some of those juicy ones. Then you can have your bear. Let's go back quickly to this image. We know we're physically unable to maintain 100% of our focus all day. Our brains get tired. So let's take a look at our varying attention levels and what we can do. Okay, proactive. We've talked about this. You're in the zone, ideas come easy. Then we have active. You're still good. You're still able to get work done. You're a bit slower, maybe. You're actually more easily distracted, and you're more likely to multitask. So be aware of that. And then, of course, our third one is where we're tired, we're mentally drained. We'll do our final, very quick poll here. I'd be interested to know, which one are you first thing in the morning? Just have it, put that there. And I'm going to then put this also in the poll, proactive. A lot of people responded in the chat as well. Proactive first in the morning. That's it. I just popped it in there. Again, Melissa, same thing, proactive, active. We're just going to give this another couple of seconds. We're at 66% of the vote. Joe is also active. Active, interesting. And interesting enough, that's kind of what our poll is showing. We're going to end it and we're going to share it. So a lot of people are active rather than proactive. Okay, so you're able to get things done, but you're not at your peak. That is very interesting. Last time I did this, everybody was proactive. I am not proactive first thing in the morning. I'm actually kind of good now and kind of good really late, like 9 o'clock. My brain gets charged. I'm actually more first thing in the morning, inactive to active. So that's really interesting. It's interesting to see. Yes, Melissa, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. sweet spot. It is for me as well, but unfortunately I have to pick up my daughter from school and it's crushing it. So most of us know when our best and worst energy times are. Nighthawk, excellent, Nick. If you don't know when that is, I highly suggest take a note, make a note of it during the day for 2 weeks, and then you should see a pattern emerging. Because it's very important to know. Because what we fail to do is plan for these varying levels. We've already talked about how important it is to make the most of your limited proactive focus. So if yours is like at 10 o'clock in the morning, or if it's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then plan your work accordingly. Don't allow yourself to be distracted by your phone and your email. Turn off those pings and rings and just focus on eating your frogs. So we all know what we can do kind of in our active zone, responding to emails, all the other interesting stuff, but it isn't really need 100% of our focus. But what can we do about that inactive time when you're sluggish? Particularly if you've got to do something. Sometimes we've got meetings in our worst time. What can you do? What do you guys do? That's so true, Samantha. It is hard to have your high productivity time when it doesn't suit the rest of the world. So what can you do, and what do you do to try and give yourself a boost out of that inactive and into the active? Because there is work. You can still work if you have to, right? I actually do my dead stuff. If I find I'm tired and it's near the end of the day, usually that's when I will just tidy up my desk. Joe, great, go for a walk if possible. Ooh, take a call. Multitasking. Turn on music. Yeah, that's good. Really good. It's important to get some fresh air. And most of us are working from home. Maybe just take a cruise around the house, right? Go outside, get some fresh air. Also, it helps changing your perspective. Will help you free up your brain a little bit more. Having water, hydration is a wonderful thing. It's a good way to recharge. Have a biscuit, little British term there for you, Joe, or some fruit. And that'll give you a little bit of boost of energy to get, power through whatever you have to do, that meeting or whatever you've got to attend, phone call. The key point here is just being conscious of where your energy levels are and applying the work that matches it. Don't just try to power through when you're tired. and distracted, take a break. You will feel so much better by doing that. One of the biggest frustrations I hear from people is that everything needs to be done now. This is really important. I need it now. I was chatting about this dilemma with a UK colleague, and he offered this insight, and I love it, so I wanted to share it with you guys. He said that the issue was that urgent and important have become blurred. He suggests that we challenge those statements and be more ruthless with our valuable attention and focus. First, we need to clarify, is the task actually urgent, or is it important? And the difference, of course, is that urgent means it needs to be done right now, but important means it needs to be done right. And of course, this is a key distinction because we all know there's definitely a trade-off between speed and accuracy. You could probably get something done at 3 p.m. very quickly. But if quality mattered more than speed, you would want to tackle it at a time when you're at your peak brain capability. Like for me, probably 11 o'clock, or even better, 7 o'clock in the evening. So armed with that knowledge, you might be able to renegotiate some of your deadlines. So you can make sure that you're working at your best attention time, and you're giving yourself a best chance of success. Before we finish, because I want to leave some time so that we can have any questions that people have. So before we finish, I just want to do one more little exercise. So grab another piece of paper, maybe the back of the one we were just using. And when I say go, I'm going to time you. You're going to have 10 seconds. I want you to draw as many triangles as you can. I'll let you know when the time is up. So is everybody ready? Pen and paper, and go. Okay, that's it. So pop into the chat how many were you able to draw. 12. 6, Nick. What else were you doing, Nick? 18, 21. Guys, we have very proficient triangle drawers here. Excellent. So remember your numbers. It looks like I'm gonna kind of go down the middle here. Got some high numbers in there. 6, Nick, you're crushing the curve. So I'm gonna say, 24 is good. We're gonna get half of that. I'd say about maybe people got around 16, 17. Draw small ones. I like your style. Corey, they don't look like triangles. Okay, well, I'm gonna try this again, and I'm going to show you a new way to draw triangles. And I'm going to time you again using this new technique, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate it first. So what I'm going to want you to do is really just draw a whole bunch of M's or mountains, okay? And then you just draw a line above it, a line below it, and then count them up. Sound easy? Okay, ready? And go. Okay, again, pop into the chat. How many were you able to draw this time? Corey, I hope they look more like triangles. Wow, 41, Alice, well done. You must have a big paper. Excellent. That's good, Corey. Good to know. So this just shows that small changes can have big impacts, right? I therefore encourage you, wow, Melissa, that's impressive, 49. I therefore encourage you to try any one of the strategies that we've discussed. Be aware of multitasking and its drain on your brain. Try to monotask instead. Don't use your email as your to-do list. Instead, plan your day. Use your high octane focus and attention wisely. And do your homework. Cull some of those meetings. Remember to eat your frogs. And this one is so important. Build in those opportunities for success. I promise you will be less stress, more in control, and you will feel better for it. As mentioned, this session is part of a wider series, and the final webinar of the group is being delivered, it shows there the one highlighted, by Think Productive founder and author of How to Be a Productivity Ninja, Graham Olcott. If you haven't signed up, pop over to our websites and register. I know it's going to be a really interesting and insightful talk. You should also sign up for our newsletter so you don't miss out on any of these free sessions in the future. I'm going to stick around for any questions, but for those of you who have to dash, can you please take a moment and complete this very short survey? I've just put the link in the chat area. I'd really appreciate it. And also, do get in touch. I'm again pointing my contact details into the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Love to connect with you in LinkedIn. And I'm just going to turn it over to some questions. I see that Samantha's got one. What was the moral of the triangle task again? Okay. Oh, so Samantha, it really was about making little changes can make big differences. That's really it. It's a big impact by doing that small change. You know, people doubled what their capacity, what they were able to do. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for coming. Oh, you don't see my links in the chat. Odd. Oh, I know why. Here we go. We're going to try this again. I'm really sorry, people. I wasn't responding to everyone. Here we go. And there we go. So there's my contacts. There's the link to the evaluation. I really appreciate any feedback, and please do connect. I'd love to hear from you outside of this. Thank you, Alice, for joining the webinar. It's so great to have this time with you. I really, really enjoyed it. I find these so fun. Okay, nothing's in our Q&A. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Emil. Okay, how do I handle no inbox first thing? My job is to manage other people's calendars and to-dos, and those come through my inbox. Okay, so that's a really good point, Melissa. But all I'm saying is not do it at all. But when you get up, just have a look at what are the things maybe, you know, really the day before that you had that said, okay, these are the key things I need to do today. And just look at that list so that you're not then going into the inbox and then go, okay, here's my work for the day. Do you have other work that you need to do? And so you're making sure that you're getting those things done as well. Does that make sense? Does that work? Melissa, for yours? Okay, excellent. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Samantha. Sorry, they're all the comments are flying by here. And also, Melissa, do reach out to me because I can send you some other stuff on that. You're welcome. Again, thank you so much for joining and have a wonderful afternoon. I'm going to go and work on my Christmas list and get my frog eaten. Yes, to be honest, Emil, email is a huge part of what I do because I hear from people all the time. I'm reacting all the time from clients. But I need to know what I need to also work on. So I'm not just going in there and just kind of looking at the first thing that comes in for my day. But that is a very good point. You know, it is part of where our work is. Thanks, Melissa. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Anything you want to share? I don't want to keep you if you need to go. Please use this free minute you still have that you were expected to be in this. Please do the evaluation. And I hope to see you on the next one of these in the future. Are any of the sessions available recorded? Yes, I will be sharing this session, Melissa, and I will be reaching out to people. We're going to be posted on YouTube. Thank you. The other topics are actually on YouTube already, and I will share those links with you as well. Excellent. Enjoy. So I see there's just a few people left. If you have any questions, please let me know. stop sharing so I can see you properly. Okay, well, thank you so much for attending. Have a lovely day. Have a very productive rest of your week and relaxing weekend. Bye.